Today on the Morning Edition, $272 million. That's how much Alaska is getting from a federal investment to reform rural health care. We'll break down just how the state is planning to do so and what this means for you. Plus, if you've driven through Anchorage since the snowfall and been confused as to why some roads are smooth and clear and others are a bit rough, it may help to understand who's responsible for plowing what and who to call to help them realize they may have missed a spot or two. And later, we have an entire week dedicated to fat bears, but if this particular bear were in Alaska, it might just win, and that's because it's addicted to sweets, clearly. It has broken into a candy shop multiple times. We'll find out what the shop owners are doing about it as the Morning Edition starts now. Good Thursday morning, everyone. We do have a first alert weather day for South Central, and we wanted to let you know Mat-Su-Borough schools, regions 1 through 5, are on a 2-hour delay, and morning pre-K classes are canceled. Aaron, what's going on with the weather?
Yeah, we're watching that large Pacific storm that's going to lift north as we welcome in the remainder of today and into our Friday. That push of warmer air began to arrive yesterday. This morning, we're waking up. Those temperatures are sitting in the 20s across South Central. And while winds, for the most part, are remaining light, we are expected to see winds increasing across South Central through the day and into our Friday. We've got a high wind warning that's in effect along the Anchorage hillside. Temperatures, though, you can see 32 degrees in Wasilla. Palmer, wow, you're sitting at 40 this morning. We're talking about a heat wave considering where we've been sitting at for a good portion of the last month and a half. But these warm conditions are with us across the South Central. And for many locations, we're pushing double-digit warmth compared to this time yesterday. You can see here in Anchorage, we're 4 degrees warmer. Palmer, 31 degrees warmer compared to this time yesterday. You can even see out towards coastal areas, those temperatures are about 15 to 20 degrees warmer. So we are seeing warmer conditions taking hold across South Central. While this typically means improving conditions in terms of relief from some of those colder weather pattern that we've been holding on to, this is actually coming with some impacts that we're going to see throughout the day today and into our Friday. You can see temperatures will steadily warm throughout the rest of today. We'll potentially make a high later this afternoon into the evening hours, sitting in the low to mid 30s across South Central. And of course, Palmer, as you can see, already sitting in the 40s, where we're holding on to some breezy conditions through parts of the Mat-Su Valley. But for the most part this morning, snow building into lower parts of the Mat-Su Valley. You can see across western parts of the Kenai and through parts of the Anchorage Bowl, we're in this rain shadow, and we're going to hold on to a period of dry conditions for western parts of the Kenai and into Anchorage, but we're already beginning to see that transition to some rain out towards coastal areas. As that builds inland, we'll see rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow building into South Central. I'll break down all of those impacts for you in that 7-day forecast coming up.
A federal investment of $272 million is meant to transform Alaska's rural health care. The state health department is hoping this funding will permanently change Alaska's healthcare landscape. To start that process, they're meeting this week in Anchorage with healthcare providers, community and tribal leaders to figure out how to spend it. As we know, one of Alaska's biggest challenges is distance, and much of Alaska's healthcare is concentrated in urban areas. So the state wants to build out a larger network of services with a larger workforce.
So having a lot more opportunities to enter through apprenticeships or certifications for the entry-level workforce in healthcare, in addition to residency programs for physicians. We have a really small, narrow focus right now. We want to expand that. So looking at the full spectrum.
And they also want to expand technological options for healthcare, like telehealth and wearable technology, like smartwatches used to gather health data from those harder to reach places. In regards to the cost of healthcare in rural areas and how that might change with this funding, they did talk about an initiative to have a value-based system for healthcare payments. This system would pay healthcare providers based on the quality of care rather than the quantity.
We consistently see that people who live in rural areas, Alaska and beyond, have worse health outcomes with increased cost. And this is an opportunity to rethink the way that care is delivered to make sure no matter where you live, you have access to quality, timely, effective care.
While the exact date of when these funds will start rolling out is still to be determined, they will likely start spending the funds within the next couple of months. A man was found dead near a busy intersection in Midtown Tuesday. Anchorage police were notified about the man being unresponsive just before 6 p.m. near Northern Lights and Benson Boulevard, but he was declared dead shortly after medics responded to the scene. APD says there does not appear to be anything suspicious with the death, and authorities are still working to alert next of kin. A viewer-submitted photo shows the frightening moment an Anchorage school bus and truck collided Wednesday morning. 31 students and one ASD employee were on board. A statement from ASD says all were able to safely exit the bus and transported to the school on a different bus. Northern Lights was closed in both directions between Betty Davis East High School and Wesleyan Drive while a fire was put out. Anchorage is still digging out after that big snow, and if you've been sliding through the ruts or feel like you're driving through a bounce house, you've probably asked the same question. Who is actually responsible for plowing what? Rebecca Polsha took a drive and found out where the plowing is working and where it's falling short, and what officials want you to do when your street gets missed.
Straighten out, straighten out. Okay. Crisis averted here on C Street. That's a road the state clears. Is there one street that's more of a problem?
Looky here. Yeah, Midtown for sure.
Let's keep driving. Put these roads to the test. Who does a better job plowing? The city or the state? Yikes! I see you, Seward Highway. This one, the state clears. Any roads that stand out to you as good or bad?
Nothing in particular, no.
Some are bumpy, others clear, some roads are icy, and some are smooth as silk. The old Seward Highway is consistent. No ruts, just snow. Here's one the state clears. Fifth Avenue to downtown, clear. Another win for the city.
So in the Anchorage area, the state is responsible for the Seward Highway, the Glen Highway, Minnesota. Those are our priority one roadways.
The state says it clears about 1,700 miles of roads in Anchorage.
Well, I think they could be better, but I think they're probably doing a good job.
The state clears less than the city, but works on some of the highest spots for speed and the main thoroughfares.
If there are problem areas, always contact us.
The city says it focuses on main roads as well and should take 12 hours to clear once that snow stops falling.
Things are going well. We had a really big snowstorm.
The plowers, they don't worry about the neighborhoods as much as the main roads.
Those are for the city to clear. Do you think everyone's doing a good job?
I think so. With the snow we've had this year, I think we've done a pretty good job of staying on top of it. Obviously, we've got some problem areas. You noted those intersections with the rutting and whatnot.
Then the next snowstorm will come through. Rebecca Polsha, Alaska's news source.
It's clear we've seen a lot more snow this winter, and those towering snowbanks around town are proof. While it may be a headache for some, it's been a boom for snowplow businesses. Danny Tompkins got the scoop on how local plow companies are doing this winter.
This is the sound of a busy season in Anchorage. For companies like Denali Clearview, snow and business are piling up this winter. And this year feels like a breath of fresh air for Courtney Woods.
Last year, I'll put it to you this way, the trucks came out of the shop last year 3 times. This year, we're out 3 times, 4 times a week. So compared to last year, it's been really good.
The reason? The snow keeps on coming.
When it's snowing, I would say 15, 20 calls daily. Thank you for calling Denali Clearview. This is Courtney speaking. How may I help you?
To give some scale, I brought my tape measure, and the snow pile I'm standing on is actually taller than 17 feet high. With snow piled taller than my tape measure, Woods says his crew is at work around the clock.
Well, it's a good feeling, but also sometimes it's just overwhelming when it gets to be a lot. Sometimes it can be a lot, and it just gets very busy, and you're up all hours, all day. You're just not really getting much sleep, not really spending much time at home.
And with more snow in the forecast, Woods and his team will keep answering the call. Danny Tompkins, Alaska's news source.
In Fairbanks, Alaska, state troopers need your help in a major burglary investigation. Troopers say 37-year-old Benjamin Cross is wanted on a $500,000 arrest warrant, and 44-year-old Gene Utley is a person of interest. Investigators say more than $500,000 in property was stolen from a gold miner's property in Esther, including gold, jewelry, and 30 firearms. Troopers say much of the gold is in unique nugget form, including one specimen valued at $100,000.
Our investigation has led us to believe that they have melted down some of this gold. So it may be in a form of an ingot, just a big blob, or some of the gold is in flake form.
Troopers say both men should be considered armed and dangerous. You should not approach them. They say Cross may be headed to or already in Anchorage. If you have any information on where either man is, you're asked to contact Alaska State Troopers or submit an anonymous tip online. Dave Bronson has announced his running mate for the gubernatorial election. Adelmi Ruiz joins us now from the newsroom with the latest on the development. Adelmi.
Kristen, former Anchorage Mayor Dave Bronson says his pick brings youth and financial experience and adds interior perspective to the ticket.
I'll have my running mate come up, Josh Church.
As you just heard, Bronson has named Fairbanks man Josh Church as his running mate. If elected, Church would help oversee state elections. He says he supports election changes, including election day ballot deadlines, voter ID, and cleaner voter rolls. Church also supports repealing ranked choice voting.
Whether you believe there's issues with voting or not, the fact that a large percentage of people have concerns about it means we need to address it. Every reasonable person in Alaska should have complete confidence that our voting is secure and accurate.
So far, 14 candidates have indicated that they plan to run for governor in this year's state elections. And as that happens, here's a look at the candidates Bronson will face, a field that includes current and former state officials. As for other running mates, Bernadette Wilson has picked Mike Shower for lieutenant governor. You can find more coverage of the governor's race right now on our website. Kristen?
All right, thanks, Adelmi. When the morning edition returns, the snow started coming and keeps on coming, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, as more snow means better overall winter activities. We'll take a look at what's improving this year next.
Significant impacts built into South Central today into Friday. We are first alerting you to some ongoing changes as well as a high avalanche danger with the avalanche warning in the backcountry. I'll have more on that, but first at sunrise coming in at 9:56 in Anchorage, 10:41 in Bethel.
Welcome back in on this Thursday. We have got some weather coming for South Central as today is a first alert day, Aaron.
Yeah, both today and tomorrow for South Central and then into the interior. We've got a first alert weather day into your Friday. We've got a warm and wet Pacific storm that we've been talking about the last few days. That's going to move south to north through the rest of this week. And we're going to see impacts across a good portion of the state in the form of blizzard conditions, high winds, rain, freezing rain, and yes, even the chance that we'll see some sleet in the forecast as we head through the next couple of days. Now, in terms of what we're dealing with this morning, snow already pushing through parts of Bristol Bay. As you head along the Alaska Peninsula, we're beginning to see some localized areas of wintry mix. And then, of course, out towards Kodiak, we're already beginning to see that transition from snow to rain. And this area of low pressure, this is an atmospheric river, and you can see the extent of that water vapor and moisture extending well into the southern Pacific Ocean as you head out towards just north of Hawaii, where we're seeing the extent of this trail of that cloud coverage. And we've got plenty of moisture and warmth that's going to pump into the state here over the next couple of days. And as we've already seen this morning, temperatures across South Central already pushing 40 degrees in some spots. Notice many areas of South Central, anywhere from winter weather advisories. We've got a high wind warning along the Anchorage hillside and higher elevations of Eagle River beginning at 3 p.m. today, lasting through the afternoon hours tomorrow. This is where we could see winds gusting up to 85 miles per hour. Now in the valley, we'll hold on to some winds gusting up to about 50 miles per hour. Thankfully, not as strong as what we're going to see along the Anchorage hillside, but it will still be quite gusty across South Central. Now, when it comes to those bigger alerts across South Central, we do have a winter storm warning for the Susitna Valley until tomorrow evening. We could see up to 2 feet of snow accumulation, and yes, some freezing rain is likely for areas south of Talkeetna. So for Willow, Meadow Lakes, out towards Wasilla, yes, even Palmer, seeing that potential that we could see some freezing rain mixing in. And then out towards Thompson Pass, we've got that chance that we could see up to 0.2 of an inch of that ice, as well as up to 30 inches of snow accumulation with gusts to 50 miles per hour. So these impacts will be felt across South Central over the next 24 to 36 hours. Today, we'll see that snow early on the Kenai, beginning to transition later this afternoon into the evening as those temperatures continue to steadily ramp up across South Central. And then into our Thursday evening, that snow will turn to freezing rain. We'll see gusts to 45 miles per hour. Yes, here in Anchorage, we'll also see some of those gusty winds with a hillside side, seeing winds up to 85 miles per hour. And then as we head into Friday, this is where we're going to see more of those impacts for the Anchorage Bowl and into the valley, with that rain and freezing rain likely, with those high winds remaining with us through at least the afternoon hours. And then into the evening hours Friday on into the weekend, we begin to see a lot calmer activity taking hold across South Central. So this morning, we're already beginning to see that transition out towards Kodiak, coastal regions of South Central, seeing that transition as well. Now from western parts of the Kenai through the Anchorage Bowl and lower parts of the Matanuska Valley, we are in a rain shadow this morning, and that will take hold for the next couple of hours before we really see that plume of moisture pushing north. So we'll see a period of several hours today where we'll hold on to those dry conditions. It will still be warm, so some melting will take place across South Central. But notice through the overnight hours into tomorrow, this is where we're going to begin to see that push of warmer air leading to that transition to some rain as well as some freezing rain. So if you get out on those roadways, any rain falling on that snow the next couple of days will lead to very icy conditions. Notice through Prince William Sound, we're largely expected to hold on to widespread rain. And then into the afternoon and evening hours Friday on into the weekend, we see a lot quieter weather take hold. We may see some snow as we welcome in Saturday. That looks to likely occur more so out towards the Kenai and coastal areas. There is a range when it comes to our snowfall potential of about 1 to 5 inches for Anchorage. This is largely going to really amount to what we're going to see in terms of our freezing rain precipitation. If we see higher amounts, we'll certainly see lower amounts in terms of snowfall totals, so we'll be watching for that. Now, coastal areas, we've also got some flooding concerns. This is where we could pick up 5+ inches of rainfall accumulation from Seward out towards Prince William Sound. So that's an additional impact we're going to see across South Central. That 7-day forecast showing temperature staying on the warm side. Again, we are first alerting you through Friday, so Kristen, make sure you take it easy on those roadways next couple of days, and of course, pack your patience as those roads could be treacherous.
All right, thanks, Aaron. Fresh snow continues to fall across Alaska, breathing life into your favorite winter events. Jace Bertrand has what's going back to normal and what's new for 2026.
We're just getting started today because the temperatures are so warm. We're trying not to do too much work on it.
So long, Heat Miser. The snow is here to stay. As you just heard, last year conditions weren't prime for iconic events like the Fur Rendezvous Snow Sculpture Contest, but Rondi and Iditarod officials say they're always ready for the unexpected.
It came pretty evident pretty soon on that it was going to be a problem, but it wasn't a problem that hadn't occurred before.
We waited and waited and waited, kept waiting for that snow, but there were days on end where it was just nothing. So we ended up doing about 6 months of work in about 6 days to move our whole ecosystem to Fairbanks.
For the sled dog races, snow had to be ushered in by the municipality. But this year...
Right now, everything is in full gear. We'll actually be blowing snow for our snow sculptures on February the 18th and 19th. We'll have plenty of snow for the dog sled races.
We should have no issues having snow for snow sculptures this year, as long as we don't get some really weird heat wave.
Beyond Anchorage, Rob Urbach said the Iditarod Trail is true to form.
It's been very cold, so all the rivers are nice and frozen up north along the route. You know, a big part of our route is on those frozen rivers.
There's much to look forward to in 2026.
We have a new event called the Rondi Kickoff, and Alaska Airlines is actually flying in the top Jimmy Buffett tribute band.
From new experiences to deep-rooted tradition.
So there's always been some innovations and changes, but in the day, it's still 1,000 miles across our great state.
Alaskans show up regardless of the weather, but we love when it cooperates. Jace Bertrand, Alaska's news source.
Speaking of winter sports and games, the Olympic flame carved its way down alpine slopes on Tuesday as the torch relay continued through northern Italy ahead of the 2026 Winter Games. A torchbearer skied down a snow-covered mountain flanked by cross-country skiers and past historic towns and farmland. The flame set off from Rome more than a month ago and has already visited Sardinia, Sicily, and the southern cities of Naples and Bari on its near 7,500-mile journey to Milan's stadium, where it will arrive on February 6th.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically and stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.